Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly and I'm here with part 2 of my Stamperia Pink Christmas tutorial, and this is a tutorial for JS Hobbies and Crafts, and you are going to find the link to the store as well as all the supplies that we're using to make this mini album on the description box, so make sure to check that out. So the first part of this tutorial, I work on the base construction of the binding on the cover, and also we did the base pages and we decorated the outside of our album. So today we're going to continue by adding the pages, doing a little bit of decoration, and yeah. So this design over here that I was thinking on using it on the cover, and then I switched my mind and used this one instead. I'm gonna use this design for the inside back cover, and again I cut this out at 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, and then I distressed all around the sides using just my scissors. And all I'm doing right now is just gluing these. Okay, and we're just gonna place it right straight on the back, just like this. Perfect. Okay, so then next, what I'm going to do is use my double-sided tape. You can use a 1/2 inch. I'm using a 3/8 of an inch, so either one of those options is going to work. And I'm going to place it on the hinge. Now we're gonna make sure to place this on the outside edge of the hinge. My hinge measures 3/4 inches. You don't want to use a 3/4 inch tape, okay? You want to use a 1/2 inch at the most, or in this case that I'm using the 3/8. So we're gonna place it along the outside edge, and then I'm gonna flip it and do the same thing and place it along the outside edge again. So then I'm going to do the same for the other ones. Just add the tape. Okay, and then flip it and add the tape once again. Okay, so now I'm going to put my album on the side and I'm gonna start working on each one of the pages. Okay, so for the first page, I'm going to use a new sheet of cardstock, and I'm also gonna cut these at 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, and I'm going to score these at 1/2 inch. So I'm scoring at 1/2 inch here, one of the sides, and then I'm just gonna fold this over and add some double-sided tape, just like so. And now I'm going to place this on my first page. So now I'm going to make sure that my flap is going to open to the right, okay? And that is gonna save us a lot of trouble, and possibly it's gonna save us a magnet. All right, so I'm gonna place it on this side. And first I like to line it up, and then I press the sticky side down. Oops, here we go. And once I have it all lined up, I just peel off the tape. Okay, so now we have a flap that goes to the right, and I'm going to use the beautiful paper punch that was sent to me on my DT, and I'm just gonna add a cute little border here. So once I have my border punched all the way down, I'm going to pick this beautiful design. I really love this image here, and so to avoid the measuring, I'm just going to mark with my pencil where I'm going to cut this paper. Well, I know here this is going to be 7.5, but or 7 1/4, but it's easier if you just mark it. That way you're not trying to remember all these measurements. So right where I put my pencil, I'm going to cut that side and this one as well, which is right here. Oops. Here we go. And this piece is going to be my front cover. And the reason why I wanted to do a flap to open, it's because I don't want to cover this page. So when we open it, here is where I will be putting my pictures. So I'm gonna go ahead and distress my page. So I'm going to be doing this for every page I add, just so you know. I'm not gonna be showing you every single time I do it, just to save a little bit of time. But I'm going to distress and then just glue this right in there. Okay, so now I covered this page, and the inside here, I'm gonna wait until the end to see if I have enough paper or the designs that I didn't use. And if not, then we can just complement these inside pages with like solid cardstock, or maybe you just collage your pictures in. All right, so now I'm going to work on the back of the first page. And so I'm gonna cover this page using this color here. This is a beautiful blue color, and the back of this is this cut apart. Now I am using 2 paper packs because I mean you will need to, because you only get 10 sheets on each one. So yes, make sure if you're following the tutorial that you pick up yourself an extra collection just to be safe. So yeah, I hate to use this, but you know, it is what it is, right? So I'm cutting these papers at 7¼ by 7½, and that will fit here perfectly, as you can see. So now, like I said, I'm gonna distress and glue this in a little bit. But for this page, I'm going to be using one of these beautiful designs. Now, I don't know which one matches better with that background. I really love this one here, but we already have the house. So yeah, maybe I don't want to repeat myself. So I'm going to be using this beautiful flower one with the birdie. So these pieces are going to measure, I think they're a little bit smaller than 6 by 6, which is perfect for what I need. So again, I'm just gonna cut this one out, just like this. And then, so let me measure this for you after I'm done, because it's gonna be smaller than 6 by 6. Oops. So let me check in here. I just want to make sure we cut all the way around, really close to the edge. So this measures 5¾ by 5¾ which is actually perfect. So I'm going to grab another piece here of 12 by 12 cardstock and cut this right at 6 inches. Okay, and I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I know there's a lot going on my desk right now, so I apologize if it gets a little messy. So I'm going to grab this piece and score at 6 inches. Okay, right at half, and I'm going to fold this just like so. And this little card, it's gonna go right here. Now before you glue that in, we are going to be using our magnets. And these magnets you can also find at JS Hobbies and Crafts. Just do the search magnets, and then you will find these little magnets in there. So let me open this up, and here we go. So I'm going to add a couple of magnets before I add this image in. So right here, one. And I'm just going to be using my tape for these magnets. That way I don't have to wait for the glue. And I'm gonna turn this around, place the magnet again, just like so. And glue it one more time. Okay, so now I'm ready to glue this image in here. This piece like so. All right, so I'm gonna put this one. Make sure your opening is on the bottom. And I'm gonna place this right on the center here. Just like that. Okay, So now I'm gonna go back to this page and glue this in. Okay, and I just love this paper. It looks like it has some mixed media splatter, little paint on the background. It's just so beautiful. So now I'm gonna grab my card and see how the magnet's on the back. I'm just gonna peel off the tape over here, just like that. And I'm gonna glue this right on the center. Just like this. And that's so cute. Super pretty. And I'm gonna embellish this page by using just a little bit of this beautiful lace here. And I'm gonna put some right along the top. So now I'm gonna need this bigger scissors. And when I glue my lace, I prefer to use my fabric tack glue. So I'm gonna go like this and like so. Okay, and I'll probably be adding some flowers in here, but I don't like doing all of that until I add the page into the album. That way we know if it's gonna conflict with the next page over. You know, you don't want the flowers right on the same position. So I'm gonna start by placing the first one here. I'm just gonna start placing them as we go, and you know, that way it's gonna look more finished. So I peel off the tape just a little bit, and then I'm finding my center, and you can always go back and cover this, which I will. And I'm just gonna place it right in here. You want to place your page right on top of your tape. Remember that your tape was only like ½ an inch in or out, so your page is only gonna go ½ an inch in. You are not gonna push it all the way to the spine, okay? And that's gonna allow for your pages to open a little bit more flat. So I'm gonna take that out, and then I'm just gonna turn this to the side and use my little tool here to pull the tape out. I love this tool, and this is just from the Cricut machine. And I think you can buy it separately too. You don't have to buy a Cricut machine to get this tool. Okay, so yay, we have our first page. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna cover this because I'm gonna put pictures in here. But if you like, you can go ahead and use the cards as well and decorate. Or maybe you can decorate the top and then use this to, you know, journal. So for this next page, I'm picking this pink design, and this is the one that on the back has the little tags. And I went ahead and distressed it, and now I'm just going to glue it. And again, this page measures 7 1/4 by 7 1/2. Okay, so all your pages are gonna measure the same, of course. Okay. So now I'm gonna put this on the side, and I'm gonna grab that other half piece that we just cut on the previous page, and this measures 12 by 6, right? So we're gonna score this page at 4 and at 8, okay? And what I'm gonna do is just create like a type of accordion. So I'm gonna fold one side in and one side out, just like so. We have a little accordion. Now, to make sure that this is going to stay closed, I'm going to do the same thing and add a magnet here, and I'm just gonna place it on the center. So let me cut my tape here. Oops. Just like so. And I'm just gonna place it right on the center. And I love that these magnets are so strong that you only need 2 magnets. Okay, so now we're gonna place the other one right on the back. And so what I'm gonna do for this page is use this beautiful 4x6 cut parts. And now again, this is gonna be a little bit smaller than a 4x6. So I'm going to pick a design, and I think for this page, again, my table is getting a little bit crowded here, but let's see. I think I really want to use this pink, this little bunny over here. And I think it's so cute how they incorporated bunnies, because you don't usually think about bunnies with Christmas. Usually bunnies are more like Easter type of thing. And I don't know if you guys know, but I have a bunny. And how cute would this be to put some of my bunnies' Christmas pictures on this layout? I think that is gonna be adorable. Every year we take a picture by the Christmas tree with my girls, obviously, and the pets. So it's a challenge getting the dogs to sit down for the pictures, and the girls and everybody looking. And this year we have a new member of our family, which is a little kitten. And so yeah, so we have the 2 dogs, the bunny, the kitten, and it gets more challenging every year. So hopefully for the next year to come, we won't get a new animal. So anyway, so this fits perfectly right in this 4x6 page, as you can see. And I'm not going to cover these because these are going to be the perfect size for your pictures, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and just place this right on one side. You can place it on the center with the previous page on the center. So I don't want to do the center again. Maybe we can do one side here, and we can add like a cluster of flowers, or then maybe we can put it on the back. Well, when you place it, we'll put it on the back, and then you can put it on the center. I don't know. It's up to you, right? I give you a guideline, and then you can modify it as you wish. Add your own personality to your album, your own aesthetic. Okay, so I forgot to peel off this little tape. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna place mine right on the side here. And I just love this bunny. She's so beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to work on the back of this page, and I'm gonna pick another design and just cover it. So for the next page, we are going to be using some of our scraps. So I always like to utilize my scraps as much as I can first before I cut into something else. So I think it will be a good idea to do like a pocket. That way we can use half of this little piece of scrap here, and maybe one of these other halves, either this one or this one. I think I like this one. So I'm gonna start like cutting this piece at 7 1/4, which is the width of my album. And this is a little bit too wide, so I'm going to just trim this at 3 1/2. Okay, and now I'm gonna grab another piece of cardstock, and since we cut these at 3 1/2, we are gonna add my rule of thumb is whatever size you want your pocket to be, you add another inch. So I'm gonna cut these at 4 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay, so now we have a piece like this, and since this is going to be the pockets, I'm going to score 1/2 inch on 3 sides. I'm gonna do half, and another half right there, and then I'm going to start by trimming the corners just like so, just like so. And this is going to be right here. And if you notice, this has a little bit of room here because I want to use my border punch. So this punch here, it's also an EK Tools, which I love because it cuts through this heavier weight cardstock. You can also find these ones at JS Hobbies and Crafts. This is the one that was included on my DT package last month when I did a guest design for them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and punch. Now, if you haven't used these punches before, all you do is you start like I always like to line it up to the edge, and then once you go from there, then you have these guidelines, and then you just line it up to that, and just punch, and it will come out beautiful. Okay, it's very simple to use. And so yeah, so we just make sure that they are lined up and we're good to go. Okay, so here we go. So now I feel like this one is probably this punch is bigger than a 1/4 inch, which it is, so it kind of covers it. So in this case, I'm just gonna place my little piece of cardstock and just pencil mark where I need to cut this a little bit smaller. And yeah, so very simple. So I'm gonna cut this right here, just like that. And now we can do the border on the bottom or on the top. It's up to you where you want to put it. And I'm going to do mine on the bottom. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this. Okay, just like so. And then I'm gonna fold this along. Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of these. Okay. So then we're gonna fold this along your score lines. Just like that, and just like that. Now for this step, you can use tape or you can also use glue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick to the glue. I feel like when we do pockets and we use the glue, when we have a little bit more wiggle time to make sure it's center and aligned compared to if we're just using tape. So first I'm gonna make sure the corner fits, and once you get one corner aligned here, then the second one should be just fine. Okay, just like so. And now I'm gonna grab the other piece that I had, and we're just gonna slide it inside just like this. And of course, first I'm going to go ahead and distress this page. Now notice I didn't distress here because I'm going to be adding my little trim over there as well. And I really hope that you guys are finding this tutorial easy to follow. And if you have questions, always let me know. Okay, so now we're going to go here and add the second page. So we peel off a little bit of the tape, and then we're gonna find the center and just place it like this. Again, we're not gonna push this all the way to the end. We're just gonna kind of hold it right there, and then we're gonna press and take off this tape. And then we're gonna turn this around and peel the tape on the other side. Just like that. How cute is this? And now we can use our little 4x6 cards. Of course, I'm gonna trim this evenly, but then these little cards can go in here. And I'm not gonna back this on cardstock because I love how the back has like a journaling area, or you can put a picture back there if you like. All right, so now let's move on to the next page. So for this next page, I'm going to be utilizing again my leftover scraps, and I'm going to make a layout that will fit the scrap piece. So compared to other tutorials that I do, usually I make the layout and then cut the paper to fit, but because this time I really want to use every piece that I have, I'm gonna do it sort of in reverse type of thing. So I'm gonna start by cutting this at 7.5, which is the length here. And then I'm actually going to see what this piece measures. So this piece measures 4 3/4, which means that my flap is going to measure 5 inches. So now I'm gonna cut a piece, and this is again another piece that I just have here left over. I'm gonna cut this at 7 3/4 by 5.5, because I do want to add the 1/2 inch to be able to score this piece, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So all you gotta remember is that you're using a piece of your scraps, and this is going to be cut at 5.5 by 7 3/4, and we are going to score 1/2 inch on one of the sides, just like this, and we are going to be adding the tape just like so. Just like this. And if you are cutting your papers like, you know, the same measurements that we're cutting, you will have this exact same dimensions on your page as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab the next page, and I'm going to add my flap here on the right. Again, make sure that it's straight and line, and take off that little tape piece, and here this is going to fit perfectly right on this side. Now, because I want to be using these beautiful 4x6 cards, I really want to use this little squirrel. I'm going to create, oh actually, you know what, I want to use this church, and I'm going to create a layout to fit this little church. So first I'm gonna start by trimming around the church image, and I'm just going to cut it really close to the pink edge. So just like this, and one more. Oops, okay, like so. And now I'm gonna put that on the side and grab a new piece of cardstock, and this is going to measure 6 by 6.5. Okay, so 6 by 6.5, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Or you can score 1/2 inch on this side. It doesn't matter which way you prefer. Okay, so again, now that I have this, I'm going to add my tape, and I'm gonna go back to this page. I'll glue this in a minute, and now I'm just gonna place this right here on the other side. And I'm going to make sure that this is centered up and down. Okay, and now I'm just going to place it down, just like that. So we have a layout like this, and this is a very good opportunity to use your magnets again. So I'm going to place one on this side, just like this, and this time I'm gonna toss the magnet right on the same place, and I'm gonna place the sticky side up, toss it again, oops, and now I can close this and just do that. Okay, so now we are ready to glue our images. This one will go here, and this one will go right there. And of course, we're gonna cover the background as well. So for this next page, I'm going to cut this sheet again at 7 1/4 by 7 1/2. And make sure that the 7 1/2, you got your orientation right, because the 7 1/2, it's the longer side that's gonna go up and down, so you don't want your text to be all looking weird. Okay, so and then I'm gonna grab this piece of scraps, and I'm going to be using these beautiful little cards over here, and I'm gonna start first by cutting them because I don't know exactly what size these are. They kind of look like 4x4s, but let me check. So I'm gonna cut it right there. So then I'm gonna grab this piece and I'm going to cut it at 4x4. So we're gonna need 3 pieces of 4x4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm gonna use another piece of my scraps here and make sure that this measures 4. And I'm gonna start with this, and then I'm gonna trim that as well. But okay, so I'm gonna move these things to the side for now. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to build one of those pull down waterfalls, and you see that they are actually really easy to make. So I'm gonna score at 1/2 inch, at 1, and at 1 1/2, just like this. Okay, so oops, and I'm only doing 3 because I only want to use those 3 little cards that this one over here. So they're so pretty. So I just have 3, and then I'm gonna start by gluing this in. So I'm gonna put my glue on the first line that we score, and then I'm just gonna place this 4x4 piece right on top. Make sure that you are not going on top of the score line. And then we do this again with the next one, just like this. And then we do it one more time. Oh, and make sure these are very like aligned and they're not crooked. And then I place the last one right there. Okay, so then I'm gonna give this about 1.5 inches, and then I'm gonna trim it right there. Okay, so now that I have these 3 pieces, or these 3 pieces put all together, I'm gonna start by just gluing my images, and I'm going to put Santa on the front, just like so. And then I'm going to open these up, oops, just like this, and just put this image here as well. And then I'm gonna do this again and add my other image. So pretty. And then on this last piece, I'm just going to add a piece of my scraps that fits just perfectly. Just like so. Okay, so then I'm going to grab one little piece of scrap, something like this. And so this measures 4. So I'm going to make sure to cut this at 6 inches. Let's see. You want to make sure you have enough room on the sides. And I think I do. So I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. And then this piece measures 2 inches. Okay, so it's a 6 by 2. And then you also want to grab another piece of your scraps, and I think this will do it, and cut these at 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so this will fit on your piece that we grabbed right here. So I'm just gonna glue this on top of that. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue this piece into the cardstock that we have here. I'm not gonna glue this down here just yet, but I am going to glue these just on the sides, just like that. And make sure you kind of put it just a little below half. It's where you want to center it, just like so. And now if you have brads, this is a perfect place to use them. So I'm gonna grab my punch here, and I'm just gonna use this small little hole and just punch a hole here on the center. Make sure it's all the way down, and I'm just gonna eyeball it, and then I'm gonna do the same on this other side. And again, I'm just eyeballing this piece, and then I'm just gonna grab some brads that I have here on my desk. And the brads, they actually just gonna add, you know, a little bit more stability. That way when you pull up and down, it's not falling or moving. But you can definitely just do it with the glue. You don't need the brads, so don't feel like if you don't have the brads you can't do it. Yes, you can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna just close these two in here, and I'm gonna secure that with a little bit of tape. I'm just gonna place one like that and one right there. Okay, and now I'm just ready to glue this piece down. So I'm gonna take off the tape here. Okay, and there you go. And we're just gonna make sure it is centered. So cute. And now I grab my little pull down waterfall, and I'm gonna open it and slide it right in here. And we're gonna make sure that this is center where I want this to be. And then I'm just gonna open the whole thing up and add some glue just right here. And now we're gonna go ahead and close this back again, and that is just going to stay like so. And to finish up this page, see how now I pull down, and it's my pull down waterfall. But if you don't want to be pulling down like this, we can always make just a little hole here on the center, and then we can add some ribbon or lace or anything you like. So again, I'm just gonna eyeball the center, and then I'm just gonna pass some ribbon through that. Okay, so I got some little piece of seam binding here, and I think that's gonna work just fine. So now we can just pull this down, and here we go. Now we are ready to add this page into our album, and it's coming together. I haven't put this page just yet, but I can always do that after. So I'm just gonna move on and add this page. So for the next page, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, and I'm gonna place this along the 4 3/4 side and score at 1/2 inch. And I'm going to do the same for all 4 pieces. So I'm just gonna do it really quick. right here and right here. And then I have a piece of scraps here that measures 6 by 2.5, so you can use any piece of your scraps that looks a little bit like this, and just go ahead and score that at 1/2 inch. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my base page and I'm gonna add this piece. I'm just gonna glue it to the right side. Okay, so make sure your openings are like this, and I'm just gonna place this on the side, kind of in the center. And then I already went ahead and cut this design, and I distressed it already. So this is gonna measure 7.25 by 7.5. So I'm just going to glue this piece in. Okay, just like so. Perfect. And then I also went ahead and cut these pieces from one of the sheets, and these all measure 4 by 6. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to build this little waterfall. It's kind of like a sideways vertical waterfall to be able to fit those images. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna start with just the first one here. So we place it down, and then I'm gonna open it and place the next one over, just like this. Now make sure that we close this up and these are even and straight. Okay, I'm gonna place it more on the left here. All right, and then I go ahead and do the same with the other two. Okay, so now that I have all 4 little pieces down, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that this is gonna close, which it is. You just wanna make sure it's long enough to close. And I'm just gonna grab and add my magnets. Put my magnets over here. So I'm gonna just place this one, it's a little too long. One right there. And again, I'm just gonna toss this one on top. And now I'm gonna just place the sticky side up, just like so. And then I'm gonna close this. Oops. Perfect. So now I have a little bit of a sideways waterfall, and now I'm ready to add these beautiful images. And I love this little kitty. Oh, I don't want to cover the kitty. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to modify it here. So maybe I can trim this here. Okay, so we're gonna try this again because I don't want to cover the kitty, right? Who wants to cover the kitty? All right, so I'm just gonna trim this right where I pencil mark. Perfect. And I'm gonna take my magnet out of this one and place it here, just like so. And now this one is gonna have to come out, and it's gonna go like this. I'm just gonna add a little bit more tape, more glue on that. And now I can close this up, and it's gonna go right there. Okay, let's see where it goes. That's better. Okay, so then I'm gonna take off this tape. Okay, sorry about the little mess over there, but anyway, I just don't want to cover that kitty. And then I'm just gonna add some glue glue this right on top. And now when we close this, we can still see the kitty. He cute. Isn't she cute? Okay, so then I'm just gonna go ahead and continue adding these images. I'm gonna leave the back blank to add a picture on that, and then I'll go ahead and cover these two pieces as well. Okay, and then I got this little piece here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it on my little belt. So it says Merry Christmas. I think it looks so pretty. Okay, so that is that page. Now we can move on to the next one. And again, for the next one, I'm going to be working on using some of my scrap pieces. So I'm going to cut these up at 7.5, and I love these shabby beautiful flowers. So that piece is going to go right here, kind of like a little pocket. And then I'm going to use the same one but on the reverse side. So again, I'm cutting this up at 7.5, just like so. And then I'm gonna grab this piece that I have here from my scraps, and we are going to cut this up at 8 3/4. Okay, make sure this is 8 3/4. All right, and again, I'm gonna make a pocket on the side, so I'm gonna measure what this is. So this is about 4 1/4. So I'm gonna cut these at 5. Okay, so this is gonna be 8 3/4 by 5. And now I'm just going to score 3 sides again. So I'll score at 1/2. And I'm going to turn this around and score at 1/2. And one other 1/2 on the other side. And then, oops, I'll put this down here. I'm just going to cut the corners like so, and the paper should be able to fit perfectly here, which it does. So first I'm gonna go ahead and fold this pocket. 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. And now I'm gonna grab my page again and make sure it's upside right, and just place my pocket on this side. Now I want to make my pocket opening to this side. If we make the pocket opening this way, then your papers are gonna fall out of your album. So let's make sure we keep it inside. So now I'm gonna just add some glue on my flaps. Just like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to place this to the left. Perfect. And now I'm ready to add this piece over and this piece under my pocket, like that. Alright, and then I'm gonna fussy cut this out. I love this beautiful image of the little girls ice skating. They're so cute. So I'm just gonna fussy cut this out and add this into my page. And again, I'm going to distress all around this circle. It's so cute. And I'm gonna place this image right in here, but I'm only gonna glue the bottom half, kind of like a U, and make this into a little pocket. Just like so. So we're gonna have a pocket up here and a pocket on the side. Alrighty, so now we are ready to add our next page into our album. Alright, so last but not least, I'm grabbing a new sheet of 12 by 12 and splitting this down the middle at 6 by 12. And I'm going to score these two pieces at 6 inches. So 1 and 2. Just like that. And then I'm going to fold these on half. And what I'm doing here is just a little booklet for the last page, and I'm going to be using one of the 6 by 6 cut aparts. Now you're gonna grab something from, a piece from your scraps, something like this, and you're gonna need a piece of 6 by 1. So I'm gonna trim this at 6 and at 1, and we are going to connect these two sheets. So I'm gonna score right at 1/2 inch, just like that. And then I'm gonna fold it. And I'm not gonna add my image just yet, but I am gonna use my glue. And just add some glue. You can also use tape if you like. So we're gonna make sure that our opening is to the right. And I'm gonna add this little piece right on the left, and then I'm going to add glue again on my little connection piece. And again, we're going to make sure this opens to the right, and just place this right on top, just like that. And then this is gonna go right here. Before we do that, we're gonna grab another piece of our little scraps over here, and we are going to create a little belt. So this time I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna cover my image. So right around here is where I want my belt to end. So I'm just gonna fold this back, just like so. Okay, and I'm going to glue, I think we can move this out of the way now, and I'm going to glue this long piece on the back, just like that. And we want to make sure we give it a little bit of room here before we bend it, just like so. And now we can go ahead and add our magnets. So I'm just gonna use the tape just like we did before, and add one over here, and the other one. Oh my goodness, come on, right there. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna put the tape with the sticky side up and just close this up. And now when we open it, it's positioned right where we want it. And I'm ready to add my image. And I'm gonna peel off this tape and just place this right there like so. And we're gonna cover this up, but I will show you that this last piece is going to go right on the center here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this down. So I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. I'm going to come back with one final step, which is going to be how I embellish and just finish with the insert pages. And yeah, so I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.